Hey everybody, it's just me coming at you with another Wonderlands build video. This is an updated version of my Berserker BLIGHTCALLER melee ability damage build. But first I just wanted to go ahead and say thank you to everybody who has liked and subscribed to my channel. And if you have not, please go ahead and do so. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the video. So now let's go ahead and go over the gear and weapons that we use to make this build hit so much damage. To start off, we have the Delusion. I use the Delusion for the soaked effect on bosses. I'll shoot them with the Delusion first and then go ahead and melee them. We use the live wire. You want to be holding the live wire when you melee because the live wire gives you increased melee damage. The weapon I was using for all of the kills in this video was the Welling Banshee. It's a cryo. Cryo is what you would want. Echo is just the best hilt mod you can have on the Welling Banshee for this build. Then down here in the gear we have 2 melee damage rings. The passives don't really matter on it, just the melee damage increases on the rings is what I was looking for. Next up we have the Cursed Wit. I'm using this Cursed Wit because it has plus 20% melee damage while ward is depleted. That's why you've seen me have my shield break. I would make my shield break every time for the hits. That way we could do the most amount of damage. And then into the real reason that we're hitting for so much damage. I'm running a Paradigm. It needs to be a Paradigm with 3 out of 3 into Icebreaker. Icebreaker is a skill in the Berserker tree and it is a very strong skill. My passives on this Paradigm is really good. But the Paradigm has to say ability damage and spell damage are increased by 35% of your melee. Next up is our spell. You can actually either run, this is what I was using to hit all the really big numbers. So the 800 million that I hit on Parasite, I was using this Buffmaster right here. It is a Ka-Chow Bonk. It has to be a Cryo Buffmaster. I will explain why here in a minute. Also, if you're mobbing, and instead of using the Buffmaster, you want to use an Empowering Sigil, that is perfectly fine. You'll still be able to one-shot enemies. It's just it hits for a lot more damage when you use the Buffmaster. So that's why I was using it in all of the kills at the beginning. And then last we have the necklace. I'm running the Urge because we're running Plague Storm. Plague Storm takes a very long time to come back after you've used it, so whenever you cast a spell, reduce your remaining action skill cooldown by 20%. The passives, you pretty much just want all damage dealt. It really doesn't have to be the Urge, it's just the one I'm using because it has Frost and Berserker damage increases. But really all you're looking for in the necklace is the all damage dealt. Next up, over here in the skill trees, this is a Berserker BLIGHTCALLER. To start off in the Berserker tree, we have 5 out of 5 for frost damage increase. We have 5 out of 5 for melee damage increase. 5 out of 5 for bonus damage on how close you are. This is always going to be at max because we're meleeing, so we're always as close as we can get. This is Icebreaker. This is what makes the build hit for so much damage. This is what you need 3 out of 3 into from your body armor. That way you can get that up to 60% against frozen enemies. And the reason that you have to use a Cryo Buffmaster is because when you activate the Cryo Buffmaster and then shoot the enemies with it, it will apply the Frost status effect to the enemies. So we then get this damage buff. That's why you can either use the Cryo Buffmaster, which is what I was using for all the kills at the beginning of the video, or you can use an Empowering Sigil. The Empowering Sigil is a lot better for mobbing because you can always have it activated. Next, I just went into Cold Snap, 3 out of 3 because of the frost efficiency and the movement speed. I enjoy some movement speed. I went 1 out of 1 into Unarmored Defense. I went 1 out of 3 into Blood Frenzy. This was just pretty much for some health regen is all that is. Then I went 1 out of 1 into Relentless Rage. This is something you usually always want when you go down the Berserker tree because when you're in Save Your Soul, when you do damage, your Save Your Soul meter keeps increasing. So it's a little bit harder for you to die once you've gotten down. And then we went 1 out of 1 into Blast Chill. Blast Chill is a very, very strong ability damage increase. We are buffing ability damage through our paradigm, and this makes ability damage activate off of melee. So it's just something you want to add in. And then I went ahead and went for Blood of the Fallen. I mainly just went all the way down the tree because there was nothing else in the BLIGHTCALLER tree that I needed to give more damage, so I just went with this just so your action skill cooldown is reduced. Then over in the BLIGHTCALLER tree, we have 5 out of 5 into status effect chance and duration. That's so we can apply the frost status effect quicker. 4 out of 5 into Geist in the Shell. I pretty much just use this just as a filler to get down the tree. 5 out of 5 into poison damage, same thing here. 1 out of 1 into Bog Down. Geist in the Shell will activate Bog Down on enemies while you're mobbing, so that's what I go with is Bog Down. And the real reason we're in the BLIGHTCALLER tree is for Frostbite. Frostbite, once again, when you apply a frost status effect, you get increased melee damage. Our whole build is built around melee damage increases and frost damage increases, so you definitely need the 3 out of 3 here. And the ability I was using is Plague Storm. You're always going to want to use Plague Storm. It is the strongest. And then over here in our myth rank, I just wanted to show off my myth rank so people don't think that I have tons of points into melee damage. As you can see, I have 0 points into melee damage, so there's no melee damage increases. What I do have in the myth rank is 20 out of 20 into the swing speed, 20 out of 20 into the crit chance, and 12 out of 20 into the crit damage. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much.